students. Today we'll see about mechanism of breathing, or even we call it as mechanism of respiration. We'll see about the basic introduction of respiration and its mechanism, and what are the muscles that involves in the respiratory process, and pressure changes during respiration, and what you mean by intrapleural and intrapulmonary pressure and its normal value, some applied aspects. Mechanism of breathing. If you want to understand about the mechanism of breathing, it is very important to know about the concept of gases and pressure. Gases that travel from the area of higher pressure regions to the area of lower pressure region. It is similar like diffusion. Diffusion is nothing but the movement of molecule from the high concentration regions to the low concentration region. But in case of breathing, here pressure gradient play a role. So the air will move from the higher pressure regions to the area of lower pressure region. See, if the air will move from the atmosphere to the lung, is a guy with a respiratory tract, the air will move from through the nose and mouth, then trachea and bronchial of the lungs. Here is the lung that is surrounded with a visceral layer, that is visceral pleura. It is a type of serous membrane. This visceral pleura, again, it is also covered with another pleura. It is called as parietal pleura. In between these visceral pleura and parietal pleura, there is a cavity in between this pleura. It is called as pleural cavity. Okay, first, here the gas travels from the atmosphere to the lung. It is an active process. But in case the gas will move from the lung to the atmosphere, it is a passive process. How it will occur? Listen here. In the atmosphere, if the pressure, if it is maximum, so it can easily move to the lung. At the same time, in between the pulmonary pressure, if it is low. How it makes inside the pressure is low? That is the mechanism of breathing that we'll see detail. Okay. This is about the external and internal respiration. What do you mean by external respiration? External respiration is nothing but the gases will transport in between the atmosphere and to the lung. Atmosphere to the lung, that is called as external transport mechanism. But in case of internal transport mechanism, the gas will exchange in between the blood and tissues. That is internal respiration. Okay. External respiration. Ventilation or breathing. Here air move in and out of the lung. That is about external respiration. And exchange of gases is oxygen and carbon dioxide changes inside the lung. And transport of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide transport by blood to and fro, to and from tissues. And internal respiration, exchange of gases and carbon dioxide between the tissue and blood. Now, there are two important muscles that involve in the respiration. One is diaphragm and another one is intercostal muscles. That we'll see a little more detail in the next picture. And in addition, there are some accessory muscles that also involved. This is a muscle of inspiration. Muscles of inspiration, one important one is diaphragm, another one is for muscle for inspiration is external intercostal muscles, and accessory muscles are sternocleidomastoid, scalene, serratus anterior, pectoris major and minor. And muscles of expiration. Expiration again your diaphragm and internal intercostal muscles. See the difference. For the expiration you are having internal intercostal muscles and diaphragm. For the inspiration external intercostal muscles and diaphragm and another accessory muscles. Okay. During external internal respiration from the atmosphere, the air will move to the lung, that is external respiration. From the heart to the tissues, that means from the blood to the tissues, oxygen and carbon dioxide will transfer, that is called as internal respiration. Okay, here now we'll see about the what are the muscles that involves in the respiration. First muscle is that is your diaphragm. Okay, and second one is your intercostal muscles. See here, these are the ribs that is surrounded with your lungs. In between the ribs there is an intercostal muscles. During inspiration, listen carefully. During inspiration, the air will move from the atmosphere to the lung. Okay, now if the pressure is maximum in the atmosphere than the lung, so the air can easily enter from the atmosphere to the lung. How it makes? Listen carefully. Suppose in the atmospheric pressure is 760 mm of Hg. The same one in a normal resting state. Okay. Intrapulmonary pressure will also the same like a atmospheric pressure 760 mm of Hg. 760 mm of Hg pressure in the atmosphere at the same time intrapulmonary pressure. Here also the same 760 mm of Hg. If the pressure in the pulmonary, if the pressure here is it is reduced, so air can easily enter from the atmosphere to the lung. How it happens? What are the muscle that involves in the respiration? First one is your diaphragm and second one is this is your for inspiration external intercostal muscle. How it will involve? Listen carefully. During this, first your diaphragm will move down during inspiration. During inspiration your diaphragm will move down. At the same time your external intercostal muscles starts contract. So here it will obey the law of gas. That means PV is RT. Listen here. During inspiration, it should obey the law of gas. See here, P is equal to nRT divided by V. That is PV is equal to nRT. Here the radial constant and temperature will be the same and N is also constant. So all these terms are constant. So P is inversely proportional to V. That means if the volume increases, the pressure, if the volume increases, the pressure will drops. This is the law of gas. How the volume will increase? This occurs during inspiration. Your diaphragm will move down. At the same time, your ribs that surrounding your lungs that contracts. That means external intercostal muscles it contracts. It causes the enlarge of your lung volume. So if the lung volume is increases, the pressure inside the lung is decreased. So now 760 it becomes 758 because it reduced by increasing your volume. The volume increase, pressure drops. So the pressure drops. Atmosphere is in the atmosphere that is 760 and inside the lung that is 758, so air can easily move inside. This is inspiration. Okay. Next, during expiration, what it happens? During expiration, the diaphragm will move forward. It comes back to the normal state. At the same time, your external during expiration, your internal intercostal muscles contract. It causes the lung volume will decrease. Here, your lung volume start decrease. Once the lung volume is decreased, if the volume is decreased, what happen? The pressure is increased. Once the pressure is increased more than 760, because of your diaphragm comes to a normal state and internal intercostal muscles contract, it causes the pressure inside the lung will increase. So the air inside the lung will move to the atmosphere. This is expiration. This is mechanism of respiration. Now listen carefully. At the rest rate, your diaphragm is relaxed. During contraction, that means during inspiration, what happens? Diaphragm contracts, so it moves your diaphragm down, and thoracic cage volume increases by contraction of your external intercostal muscle. This causes the volume inside the lung increases, so the pressure drops, so air will move from the atmosphere to the lung. Now, during expiration, expiration is the passive process. So, your diaphragm will relax automatically. What happens? Your thoracic volume will decreases due to internal intercostal muscles contract. So your volume inside the lung is decreased. So here the pressure will increase than the atmosphere. So the air will move to the atmosphere. That is respiration, expiration. Okay. This one. See, these are all the ribs. Okay, here external intercostal muscles, and here this is your internal intercostal muscles. Internal intercostal muscles will involve during expiration, and external intercostal muscles will involve during inspiration, and this is your diaphragm. Diaphragm will move down during inspiration, and it comes back to the normal state during expiration. Okay. This respiration, your gases that should, your respiratory process that should obey your Boyle's law. That means P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. If the volume increases, pressure must decreases. As the lung expand, pressure inside falls. So this mechanism of respiration, it should obey the law of. Okay. Respiratory pressure. It has two types: intra-alveolar pressure or intrapulmonary pressure. That's volume is 760 mm of Hg. Intrapleural pressure, here in between your parietal pleura, visceral pleura and parietal pleura, in between your pleural cavity, intrapleural pressure is 758 mm of Hg, and atmosphere, that also 760 mm of Hg. Atmosphere 760, intrapulmonary again 760, intrapleural pressure or pleural cavity pressure is 758. Why it is very important? Because it will avoid the collapse of your lung in between that pleural cavity pressure. That main role is to avoid your collapse of your lung. Okay. At the rest stage, atmospheric pressure is 760 and intrapulmonary pressure is 760, and your intrapleural pressure is 758. Okay. During inspiration is the active process, and expiration is the. During inspiration, your diaphragm will move down. It causes increasing your lung volume. Due to increasing in lung volume, your pressure drops 759, and the atmosphere is 760. So the air will move from the atmosphere inside the lung. Okay. During inspiration is active process. Thorax enlarged by rib movement and diaphragmatic movement according to the property of gases. PV is equal to nRT. Okay. Again, the mechanism of inspiration here, ribs movement. See, in the previous case we have seen your ribs surrounding the lungs. Am I clear? In that case, the ribs from 2 to 6, that will move like a pump handle movement. While respire, while inspire பண்ணும்போது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the ribs from 2 to 6, it will move little, it will show a little movement up to this. But in case of ribs 7 to 10 here, that ribs will move a little large, large area. So the 7 to 10, the contraction of external intercostal muscle, so this will move in a large area, that is bucket handle movement. Okay, listen here. The ribs 2 to 6, it moves a little distance only, up to here only. If you hold your hands in your ribs 2 to 6, while respiring, it will move a little distance only. But in case of if you are holding your hands on the ribs movement, on the ribs 7 to 10, the respiratory movement will be maximum, like a bucket handle. This is about the respiratory movements. The anterior expansion occurs by the elevation of your ribs, as if the fulcrum is at the vertebral column alone and the sternum is the handle. This is pump handle. Okay. This one bucket handle movement and this one is pump handle movement. It covers large area and it covers small areas. Okay. Mechanism of inspiration, diaphragmatic movement. Your diaphragm moves downwards during eupnea. The normal respiration, your diaphragm is 1.5 centimeter movement. Diaphragmatic movement is 1.5 centimeter. During deep inspiration, your diaphragm will move around 7 centimeters. During expiration, return of ribs to the rest position causes diminishing of your lung volume. Again, return of diaphragm to a rest position is also causes diminishing of your lung volumes. See, your ribs and your diaphragm, once it moves to the resting state, your lung volume will diminish, and diminishing of lung volume causes your pressure increases. Air flows out of the lung. See here, during expiration, your diaphragm will move to the rest state. At the same time, your internal intercostal muscles will contract. The ribs will also move in the same state. So your intrapulmonary pressure will increases than atmospheric pressure. So air will move out to the lung. What are the pressure changes during ventilation? See, intrapulmonary pressure, intra-alveolar pressure. In a quiet breathing, zero atmospheric pressure, that is 760 mm of Hg. During inspiration, your intrapulmonary pressure is 759 குறையுது. During expiration, your intrapulmonary pressure is 761. The main factors that involve in intrapulmonary pressure is Valsalva maneuver and Muller maneuver. First, what do you mean by Valsalva maneuver? என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, that is a forceful expiration against a closed glottis. ஃபோர்ஸ்ஃபுல்லா இப்போ நார்மல் இன்ஸ்பயர் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஃபோர்ஸ்ஃபுல்லா எக்ஸ்பெல் அவுட் பண்ணும்போது in the against closed glottis. சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னா, just you take a BP apparatus tube, just you maintain in this tube, put your mouth over here and blow it and maintain it for 100 mm of Hg. That is Valsalva maneuver. That means forceful expiration against closed glottis. Next one is a Muller's maneuver. Muller's maneuver is nothing but after a forceful expiration. Forceful expire பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா an attempt to inspire with closed mouth and nose. Forceful expel out பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் immediate if you are inspiring, at the same time we should close your mouth and nose. That will maintain minus 60 mm of Hg. That is Muller's maneuver. These two will affect your lung intrapulmonary volume. Okay. Intrapleural pressure or intrathoracic pressure. What are the factors again that will affecting your intrapleural pressure is deep inspiration, again your Valsalva maneuver, and effect of gravity. The gravity will also affect your intrapleural pressure. Okay, pathological variation of your intrapleural pressure. First one is emphysema. Emphysema is nothing but a loss or decrease in the lung elasticity. Decrease your intrapleural pressure leads to expansion of thoracic cage. So it appears like a barrel shaped chest. And another one is injury to the thoracic wall, that is pneumothorax. That's what I told you, your intrapleural cavity that will maintain your collapse of your lung. If there is an injury in your thoracic wall that causes pneumothorax, that leads to collapse your lung. Okay. What do you mean by airway resistance? Airway resistance, that is nothing but the flow of air is directly proportional to the pressure gradient and inversely proportional to the resistance. See, F is nothing but a flow of air. This is a pressure gradient and this is your resistance. The flow of air is directly proportional to your pressure gradient and inversely proportional to the resistance. Resistance depends primarily on the radius of your conducting airway. And a parasympathetic stimulus that will constrict your airway, whereas your sympathetic that will dilate your airway. So both this will affect your airways resistance. Okay. Up to this we have seen about a mechanism of respiration and what are the muscles that involves in your pulmonary pressure. That means your diaphragm and internal and external intercostal muscles, and what are the pressure that changes that we have seen: intrapulmonary pressure, intrapleural pressure, and intrapleural and intrapulmonary pressure and its normal value, that is 758 760 mm of Hg. Up to this